Jesus was asked, which is the greatest commandment? In the whole Bible, all the wonderful rules that God gives us about living our lives, which would you, Jesus, place on top? Jesus answers, love the Lord your God with all your heart, strength, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus said the entire Bible hangs on these two. Love God above all else, love others as yourself. Now that's easy to say, right? But what does it look like? Well, I like to picture it as a triangle, a love triangle. See, look, according to Jesus, this is what our relationship should look like. God should be first and foremost, and you and me should be on an equal plane. Notice, Jesus doesn't say love your neighbor more than yourself, and he certainly doesn't say love yourself more than your neighbor. Jesus isn't saying be a doormat, and he's not saying walk all over people. He's saying that to live in right relationship is to keep God up here where he belongs and to keep our own needs, wants, and desires on equal footing with our neighbor. If your love triangle looks like this, you're doing perfectly. But none of us are doing perfectly, are we? Most of us have our triangles out of whack. For some people, their triangle is upside down, right? I call this the hippie dream triangle. Up here is humanity living in peace and harmony, but God is way down here somewhere, right? This never works for very long. The triangle always tips over. Some people have their triangle warped in the other direction, right? The ego monster triangle. Me and my needs are the most important thing in the universe, then maybe God, then my neighbor. This isn't any more stable. Neither, by the way, is the martyr route, right? I'm going to elevate my neighbor's needs way above my own because I'm but a worm, right? I'm going to give, and totally neglect myself. In the long run, it's unsustainable. Sometimes we imagine this is what God wants, or maybe like this, right? But even Jesus rested and prayed and let himself be served every now and again. Maybe none of these extremes really describes your life. Maybe you're just a little bit askew, right? You know God's important, but sometimes you slide one way or the other. You start becoming a little more selfish, or you start neglecting your own needs. You need to find balance. How is your love triangle? Are all of your relationships perfectly balanced? Or are you out of whack? Does your spiritual life feel upside down or maybe just a little wobbly? Maybe you should spend some time in prayer, asking God to help you find perfect balance.